Okay, hey everybody, welcome to the weekly strategy session for Retechulous here. Somebody just say, hey, I can hear you. Who's on today? Adam's on. Adam, your import is, I think Bill's got that fixed. We're still working out a few little bugs over there, but things are coming along with lead barrel. And I think he emailed you about that. And that's about it. I have some things today. Guys, drop any links to anything you want looked at, any capture pages, anything that might be working for you or not working. If you're driving traffic and not getting leads, we really want to know because we know we can get you leads. We know we can get fresh leads flowing, and that this can all happen in a way where a lot of the conversion is automated. So I have some notes. I wanted to start out by just showing you guys a few kind of things that I found over the past week. One of them, I keep seeing a Facebook ad for this thing called strikingly.com. I thought it was really neat, and basically what it does is it builds you a full website off your LinkedIn account. So I don't know why this is taking so long to load up. One second. Here we go. So you basically go in, you sign in with LinkedIn, and it kind of pulls everything in from LinkedIn and makes you kind of like a cool looking website. But what I really liked, for your personal brand. But what I really liked was that they had there's a lot of flexibility here. You can actually add a blog in and write blog posts directly in, and you can customize all these links here. You can remove all this stuff here. You'll notice here a little link to a lead magnet, free foreclosure list right here, and it's really easy to edit. So for anybody who's thinking of going out and spending a bunch of money on a personal website, maybe give this a shot real quick. It's strikingly.com. I have nothing to do. I have my ryanhartman.net domain forwarding to Facebook, just for a personal brand site. I'm gonna forward that bad boy over to this, spruce it up a little bit. You can change everything here. You can change the images. So just a little tangent. Again, it's gonna be kind of like a business card, but it seems pretty easy to go ahead and add in some banner ads, some lead capture elements. I'm trying to figure out if you can, I know you can remove this if you get their $4 a month account or something, but I would love it if you could put some things in here like lead capture stuff here. But for now, just thought I'd bring it up. Second thing after Strikingly, noticed a few things while running some Facebook ads this week, just some updates for anybody who's from Canada. Who's from Canada on today? Curious to know. For a while now, it's been really hard to target in Canada. It's in big metros like Vancouver, Toronto. You would have to put in the entire city that you're targeting. You'd have to go everybody in Toronto. Well, that's millions of people, right? Millions and millions and millions of people. And then you would have to try to demographically pare the number down in other ways. Today when I was in, I noticed that there was this little blurb, and I think I posted it to the group, where you can actually put in Canadian postal codes. So if anybody is on from Canada, give me a postal code example. Let's see. Toronto postal code. I need an example code. You know what? I could just get one from Lone Wolf, I bet. Lone Wolf probably has one. Canada postal code, Toronto, Brampton. What are these here? Let's try one of these guys right here. And you weren't able to do this before. I know most of you guys are from the States, and you might be rolling your eyes and bored right now, but I know this is kind of a really big deal for you Canadian members, because it does allow you, let's make sure I got this right, to get a lot more targeted with what you're doing. My goodness. It was here this morning, guys. Try popping in. I won't waste a lot of time, but try popping those in. Was there a particular theme you like on Strikingly? Larry's asking. No, I just took the default one. If you guys want, I can play with it more live, but it's kind of self-explanatory. There's no, what I liked about it was that it quickly built a page that looked okay, something like to put on your business card. Didn't cost a lot to do, really quickly for free. It automatically fired up. Looked cool, probably responds very modern. I didn't check on my phone. It had the blogging, and then you can put some forms and some lead capture in it if you want, but no theme in particular. So if you're in Canada, check out the postal codes. What else do we have here before I go into the main core today? That might have been it. Let's take a look at the group and see what's going on. I know a few people posted some fun stuff over the last week. Let's see here. Paul was mentioning that he's got his second or maybe third client of the month off the foreclosure. He's doing $5 a day Monday through Friday. So at about $100 a month, he's closed $7K in commissions. He does an exit pop to his free weekly list. He gets 1 or 2 signups a day. And basically, Paul's like one of our members. I don't know if you're on, Paul, but he's he's a guy who's been kind of doing our main core foreclosure list offer for years now. And it's just a system. It just kind of churns out business. He's got second, 2 or 3. He's spending $100 a month on ads. He's paying us a few bucks for membership, I'm sure. He bought a lifetime at some point. But for not a lot of money, he's getting very high ROI, and a lot of these systems are automated. He's just got to service the leads. So just a quick reminder that it can work there from Paul. Can you like my fan page? Ron. This was pretty good. Ryan Lee, who's a pretty guru that I follow, I just like him. He's been around forever and is really down to earth. Has a recording out. He's selling some kind of implementation service. I have no idea. This is not a replay link, but the first 20 or 30 minutes of this replay was really good because he talked a lot about email marketing in general, the fundamentals. Everybody's hyping up complex funnels now, but the whole idea that you can build an email list and then follow up with it and be nice to it and provide valuable stuff can generate you money. And in internet marketing circles, a lot of the times the number used, and he uses this, is $1 per month per subscriber. The point I made in this post, and I think it holds true in a lot of cases, is that you can get probably $20 to $50 a month per subscriber because real estate is such a high ticket item. So off a list, I know this because I've done it, off a list of 100 people, who you are sending, for example, foreclosure videos to, like I was every month, you might do 5 transactions a month off that list of 100 people because you got an investor or 2 in there who buys the property off you every month or 2. You've got the random stray guy, but you're sending really good stuff. People are recommending properties to their friends, and 2 or 3 transactions, even if they're only 100, on 100 people, even if they're only 100,000 a piece. Well, there you are. You made 3 to 5, 10 grand off of 100 people. You're at $20 to $50 a month per opt-in. So that's just an interesting way to look at our core method. The core process we teach is just, hey, squeeze page, get people opting in, make sure you give the info. Think of something compelling that people would be willing to opt in for. Make sure they, get them to give it to you, their email address at a low enough number, and then follow up with more of the same in an automated way, like Paul does with his foreclosure list. What else we got? Oh, this was great from Scott. I should have prepared this a little more. Scott, thank you so much for sharing this because this is a really big one. Scott wrote a blog post about how Zillow lost their listing feed in his area. This hasn't happened in every area. And he wrote a post about why it's bad, and he started driving a Facebook ad directly to it. Now, I don't know if he's getting leads or not, but this is an example of taking something current, what's in it for them as far as the buyer's concerned. This is for you, showing that you're an expert with your content, and then one extra step here, and I don't know if I mentioned it in my comment, but the first thing that came to mind for me was retargeting. Because a lot of people who click this might be searching for a property. If they see an ad, he's running a Facebook ad to this. Why should I stop using Zillow and Trulia? That's kind of like scandalous. Anybody who sees this might be looking, and then if they don't register for his regular property search on his site, he can retarget the content. And retargeting blog posts and content is becoming a big, big thing now in internet marketing circles because Facebook, any day now, and they're already starting to, is going to slap our squeeze pages. And it's going to be so sad. I'm going to cry for months and weeks. Not really. It's just going to be just like when Craig Newmark, changed up Craigslist and we had to switch gears there. The same thing's coming here, and this may be one of the avenues that a lot of marketers are going in, where they're writing long content posts demonstrating value and using retargeting to keep that audience engaged. QQQ. What kind of foreclosure videos were you sending to your list? I'm happy to share these anytime if you guys want to have a minute to laugh. But thank you, Scott, again for sharing this, guys. The whole idea here, the takeaway before I move on, content-rich blog posts, you can drive traffic to them. You can get a lower conversion rate than you normally would on your property search, but you might feel safe doing that if you incorporate a little bit of retargeting goodness. And notice he's got his he's got a get response form. You know, he's got some other capture elements here. Let me show off a foreclosure video. Man, I got to do a new one. I haven't done one in a while because I need to get licensed down here in Florida. But youtube.com/user/ ooh, where's one? These are getting really old now. I had a lot more hair 5 years ago. 8 years ago. Let's see. Which one do I want to share? Here was kind of this was an example of me just being goofy and doing a little bit of attraction marketing, where people, before they even talked to me on the phone, they kind of were, even if they thought I was a goofball, they were kind of pre-sold and felt comfortable talking to me. So I'll just show it. But this was taken on an old Vado. It's like a flip camera. In what year is this? 2009. It was a HUD listing. It wasn't my listing. Very shaky, very crappy. I haven't even taken the ads off the YouTube account. That's sloppy. But this is it. I walk through it without music, of course. Through some annotations, you see the little blue things coming up. Okay. Awful video, right? Not high quality or anything. Owner-occupant bid deadline. I spelled deadline wrong. 4/12/09. All right. I danced in front of the mirror here. I had a little more energy again, you know, 6 years ago, before the kids have worn me down. But just having fun, walking through the house, straight up tour, back to the office through the audio track on top of it within the YouTube video editor. You can still do that, so that you don't have to worry about any of the audio. And the point here is not really that I'm really showing too much about the house. I get it down in video so people can get a general tour of the property. I save them some time from having to go see it themselves, pique a little interest. And then in the email you send out, you're like, hey, here's a video I just took. This property was pretty cool. The heater was like, you know, it's a HUD. The heater's only like 2 years old. The roof's pretty new. Needs some cosmetics. You know, good fix and flip, good buy and hold. You give a little blurb. You show them the goofy video, and then the video like this can be passed around and people really respond to it. So, John, you opened up a can of worms there because this is a topic I'm really excited about. I wish, and I know some of you guys do this stuff, but I wish we could see more of it. It's just a really powerful technique. You know, videos of empty properties that might be good deals, mailing them out to your list. Woo! Did I go too fast? The YouTube editing stuff is pretty self-explanatory if anybody's wondering about the annotations and the audio. Okay, so a lot of content. We're only about 14 minutes in. Had some coffee today. Next thing I wanted to go through, guys, I was doing some slides today for a little presentation on internal marketing we're going to be doing, trying to kind of hone, you know, trying to evolve our processes all the time. And we haven't talked enough about retargeting, and I want to bring that more into play. Truth is, I've been kind of waiting because there's a retargeting product about to launch. A friend of mine's putting together, and I wanted to be able to recommend that to everybody, and it's coming very soon. But you don't need a retargeting software to do retargeting right now. You can just use, you know, Facebook's native stuff to do Facebook retargeting. Anyway, here is the presentation I was working on here. And it was a take on the strategy session we did a few weeks ago, but expands upon it a little more. And it's how to fill your real estate database with high net worth local homeowners who might buy an investment property or list their home with you in the next 12 months. And that's a mouthful. And if you were on a few weeks ago, this might sound like a little bit of a repeat of the content I covered then, but I want to put a little more into it. So I laid out some steps here. Step one was to create a real estate deals or foreclosure fan page for Facebook ads. We have the sort of how-to of that in our quick funnels on the site on Retechulous.com. And firing up a quick fan page is really no big thing. You know, there's just a few things you want to watch out for. You don't want to put your face on it in most cases unless you're, hey, I'm just going to say it. I think most of you guys are on our guys today. I'm sorry, Bernadette and Cindy. Unless you're a smoking hot girl. Just kidding. But usually you're going to want to keep your face. I shouldn't have said that, but you want to keep your face off the Facebook page because you want it to be, for a number of reasons. You want it to be about the property. the niche focus property type, the info, and you want it to maybe be a page that you can transfer later. And it might be hard to rename a page, you know, unless you actually sell your business. But if you're Remax XYZ, you want to be able to transfer that later. It might be hard. And then the big reason for not putting your branding on it is you don't want it to just scream, "Hey, I'm a real estate agent who's gonna, you know, forever pester you if you interact with my Facebook page." So, step one here is to build a Facebook page, real estate deals page, like Mark states, which his is Chesterfield County foreclosure deals that I kind of swiped and put on the slide here. You're on, Mark. I hope you don't mind. But yours is the page I go to because you post content so frequently. It's a really good page. And then you build your niche focus page. Second step is you create a property search results link, so it can be the squeeze pages we always talk about, right? The free foreclosure list. It can be your IDX in this process that I'm building out here. It can be kind of like Scott Henninger's site where you land on the blog and it's got a property search widget, and you know you're not going to get too many email ops, but maybe you're showing a featured deal or something, right? So step two is to do a quick opt-in around a buyer side squeeze page. Step 2A is to make sure your landing page has retargeting pixels on it. And I bet for a lot of people who are on this call right now who have our system set up, this step is likely missing because we don't talk about it that often, or we feel like it's a little bit, it's probably not super necessary, but for this protocol, for making sure you stay in front of these high net worth for longer term follow-up, it is necessary. And I'm going to show you guys really quick how to do this. How to make sure your lander has retargeting pixels on it. So if we go into the Facebook advertising dashboard, this is very easy to get these pixels. All you need to do is go to Audiences, wow, super slow. You can upload your own email address or whatever, but in this case we want to put a pixel on our website. We're going to create a custom audience, website traffic. I have read and accepted the terms, create my pixel. And then it will give it to you right here. You simply copy this in and paste it into your capture page or your blog. So if you have a WordPress site or an IDX page you're driving traffic to, you want this to be between the head. If you're using Lead Barrel, you can click on a little gear and there's a little spot for scripts. I can show everybody that right now. Nobody's telling me not to. Guys, be negative. I know I'm bouncing around a lot. Just say if I'm going too fast or moving out of order. It's not going to upset me. Let's see. And I'll recap this after we run through it. But so Facebook targeting pixel, you go to Facebook, custom audience, and then when you're on your landing pages here, here's your spot for page scripts, right here, if you're using Lead Barrel. Okay, and what it does? Thank you, Bert. What it does is this retargeting pixel. For anybody who doesn't know, it basically kind of drops a little cookie or a sneaky little thing on whatever you want to call it on the person's computer, and allows you to then it builds a list that you can run ads to. So, sorry, I said that totally wrong. It builds a list in Facebook that you can later run ads to, and I'll show you in the last step how to run the ad once the pixel's live. But what it's going to start doing is building a segmented list of anybody who's responding to your offer for real estate deals or whatever the front end buyer offer is. So drop the pixel. That is step 2A. All right. Step 3. Now, here's where it gets fun. We're going to run our Facebook ad, but it's going to be a buyer-focused ad for the free foreclosure list, the list of income properties, land, whatever it is, but we're strategically only going to show it to people who probably own a home and who probably have some money, at least according to Facebook. I don't know how accurate this data is, but let's assume it's sort of accurate, that these guys know what they're doing on Facebook. I've been surprised to see how many people are worth $500,000 in some of the zip codes I've tried this on. Because it's just, I know most Americans don't have any savings, right? But you'd be surprised how many people have money, I guess. Let's see. So I don't know if they're going off net worth or income or whatever, but let's run this ad. And I can actually do this very quickly right now. I know I have like a page already in mind and everything, so let's just go ahead and do it. Send people to your website. It's always good to see this done again. We'll do really cool.info/Southern PA foreclosures. We'll send Walt a little traffic. Oh, Paul, I owe you some. I could do this for you. I can run the same thing later. This is different, this conversion pixel. This is for tracking. So I'm going to leave that off right now. Okay, I'm going to pick York, Pennsylvania, which is where this particular landing page is from. 10 miles. I'm going to set my budget to, I'll leave it at $5 a day. Like Paul, you don't need it to be a lot to get consistent lead flow coming in. Now I'm going to go to the fun part. I'm going to pick my demographics. So this is 190,000 people using Facebook within not a huge town, not a tiny town, York, Pennsylvania, within 10 miles. Now I'm going to start to pare down the demographics. I'm going to go demographics, home ownership, homeowners. So for whatever reason, that gets us down to 100,000 people. Facebook seems to know these people own homes. Now I want to also add in financial, and you could play around with this. You could do income instead, but I'm going to do net worth, and I'm going to add 500 to 750, 750 to 1 million. Oops, and then the over the 1 to 2 million, and then there's a final category they have for the 2 million plus. Just the way they have it. Ooh, I didn't even see this. Whoa, what is that? Liquid assets. Oh my goodness, my head's gonna explode. I didn't even see that before because it was buried down in the scroll down. Now I've got, I'm surprised it's that many. I got 28,000 people who own a home and who have a net worth over $500,000 in this area. These are the people I'm going to put in my database and interact with. You see where, I mean, is everybody getting a little bit excited about this? If for everybody here who doesn't want to, who has the objection like, oh, I don't want to work foreclosures, can you see how you can turn that into a pretty interesting scenario here by just targeting accordingly, right? I'm getting excited. So I've got homeowners flowing into my database who own $500,000, have $500,000 in net worth or more. I'm only going to spend $5 a day for now. Let's finish my ad. I need a picture of a foreclosure in my area. Let's see if I happen to have something in my past library. You can use a picture of any house. Most of my ads are here trying to get you guys. All right, I do want to finish this process, so. All right, I'll just use any old image here. This doesn't need to go live right now. You know what? Yes, it does. I'll use my my house that's for sale. I can do that. I'm in the doghouse with my wife. I keep forgetting to run. I do this stuff all day, and guys, I've experienced it firsthand as a seller. I've been running YouTube ads and Facebook ads, hit or miss, like on and off from my own house, and every time I do, we get showings. And then I turn them off for whatever reason. We got our Facebook account. We had some trouble a few weeks ago. The ads go off, no showings come. My wife looks at me and goes, "Why aren't you running ads?" And I just say, "Because I'm a dope." But the Facebook ads straight to a property listing and YouTube ads, they get reaction. I had a guy text last week, "Hey, is this house still for sale?" He must have seen the YouTube video. I don't think I had any traffic running. There's no other way he saw it. That he even got my cell number. It's the only place I had my cell number. So, wow, this is taking a long time, but it's got a crappy outdoor picture. We're suffering a little bit from lack of curb appeal. It does need a paint job. Let's see. Okay, so Let's upload our house picture here, just any old ordinary house in the area. Okay. We'll link this to a fan page. This is really driving me a little crazy. I don't know about you guys, but the new business platform, you have to go and link to connect to a Facebook page. You have to go link your page to your ads account first, and I haven't done that for anything local. Usually I can just zip through this and pick one of the pages I manage from a drop down. Doesn't seem I can do that right here. And then they make you create a whole new page. It's like kind of like a bug or something they overlooked, or it's intentional. But usually you're going to want to link this to your fan page. In this case, this is the Retechulous fan page. You know, saying real estate lead generation is going to hurt this ad, but let's keep going. Free weekly list. York, PA foreclosure list. And basically we can just echo the headline. You know, good practice is just echo the headline, cool.info, that's in our capture page, somewhere in our ad copy, so that there's a match between ad and landing page. Gives you a higher chance of getting conversions. There we go. Perfect. And then choose button. We can do learn more or leave that blank. And now this is what our ad looks like, and remember who's going to see it. Sure, we're leading with a pre-foreclosure government bank-owned low-end property list, sure, but the people who are going to see this are not going to be thinking about moving into one of these houses. If they have any interest in these properties at all, it's going to be coming from an investor side. And when we started this whole thing, the whole headline in the beginning was people who might want to buy an investment property from you in the next year. So by running this ad, what you're basically doing is you're skimming out anybody who, in that demographic who replies to this. We know they're probably thinking investment property, and that sets the tone for how you follow up. All right, so we run our ad. People start coming through our page. By the way, you know, a few months ago, I think I used this page. We got such cheap leads, it was incredible. And the second step on this is our start the mortgage process page, and we were getting, I think it was 40% to fill this out. I can't remember, and like another certain percentage of those were giving us a full phone number right down here. So just a little second step strategy built in. Place order, the leads start coming, and that is step 3. Run Facebook ad only targeted to high net worth homeowners. Great. Now leads are going to start coming through here. Perhaps because it's not running general, maybe we're not going to get our usual 50 cent, $1 per lead. Maybe because we're running it to a target that isn't probably going to be really interested in buying these houses or actively looking to buy. Maybe the lead cost is going to be higher. Maybe it's going to be lower because maybe this demographic, we don't know yet. Maybe they're going to say, oh, that's interesting, you know, I need a passive investment, and they're going to be more likely to respond. They might be a more responsive list. Yes, John, yes, I'm going to answer that in a second. So, very good, timely question. So, John is asking, once Facebook starts slapping the squeeze pages, and they may be slapping our seller squeeze pages. I have no way to know because they don't tell us. But our ad account was shut down. It may have been because of complaints, and we were running a lot of the seller What's Mine Worth ads that didn't give the value right away, which is an approach that I really do like because it causes the conversation to have to happen. But on the other hand, that could have been causing complaints. Kind of thought about this later. If they do start slapping, John's saying, is it going to be smart to write an article or blog post talking about foreclosures with an opt-in button at the bottom that leads to your squeeze page? And that is exactly what you're going to want to do. And a bigger twist on that is probably going to be to run ads directly to a specific foreclosure with some pictures or a screencast of you explaining why it's a good deal. And in the screencast, you say, for more details, when I do more videos or when I find good deals, you're going to want to put your email in the box below. So that's sort of your classic reverse squeeze page, and this is exactly what Facebook wants to see. They're going to want to see more and more of. They want to see you go straight to a content page, just like Google. Thanks for pointing that out, John, but you're right on, man. Yes, John. Yeah, this is going to start to happen, guys. It's coming. I think the way, I think if you have, here's two ways it can happen with what we're doing, guys. A little caution. Most of us are running the foreclosure list ad and the seller ad. The seller ad is fine, but I would rather target homeowners, like I said, and build trust over time through this process. I don't really love that funnel, but everybody wants to use it. That one you might get complaints because you're not giving the value. The foreclosure list one, give a good list. We have RealBird there on the back end automatically. Not a good list. I'll admit it. It's like a stand-in. It's like kind of scrape data from what Realty Track, wherever RealBird gets their data. If you're going to give away foreclosure lists, take the time, go make a PDF or get something straight from your IDX that really gives good data. After people opt in, say, hey, thanks for getting my list. Down below is a link. Do a video. Take the time. These are the 10 foreclosures. The 10 that I like best are up top, and then below is the other list, so that people don't opt in and go, this is crap. If they feel like they got something of value, they're going to have a better user experience on Facebook, and they're going to be less likely to go back to your ad and complain. I don't think Facebook is right now slapping straight squeeze pages. The issue they have is when they see a high complaint ratio, because people aren't getting what you promised. So thanks for bringing these points up. I think this is really timely for this conversation to happen. So thanks, John. Okay, so working through this, we've got leads coming in, targeted homeowners, right, coming to our Facebook ad. We know these people, it's gonna be hard. They're gonna have friends who are real estate agents, right? But we want to play with the big boys, so we're playing with people with a little bit of money. We're gonna have high average transaction. We're gonna have a chance to get listings from these folks if we do step 4. And you're gonna want to follow up, I think, with 2 different things here. One, you're going to follow up with good deals, investment properties, right? So maybe put it on your calendar. Every other week you send, hey, here's a great multifamily, here's the, man, I can't remember what it's called. The cap rate is XYZ. Get nitty gritty with this thing. Send them the details about the income expenses. Cap rate is XYZ. It needs X dollars of work. The after rehab value is this. Be the expert. Send a really good. Take the time to send a good investment property. This is going to be an intelligent bunch of people who are worth $500,000 or more. So send them something good and juicy they can sink their teeth into. And if you do that, they're going to be impressed, and the ones who do want a good deal are going to reply to you. So that's one type. The second type is to just kind of work in some of the do you want to sell stuff. So in this example, maybe on day 2 you say, thanks for checking out the foreclosure list yesterday. Meant to ask, or just curious, do you have a property in an area that might want to sell? And be honest. I mean, you could say, hey, maybe you have a buyer, in that price range. I have a few buyers, and you might even have to mention that they own a home and they're in a price range. Just say, hey, I happen to have a buyer who's looking in the whatever zip code, right? Fill in whatever zip code you targeted. Looking in the York Suburban School District, and their price range is between a $500,000 and $1 million. If you happen to know anybody who might want to sell a house, could you let me know? It's a buyer need. You do that broadcast, or you do a list of transactions. Once every Saturday, you go, here's what's sold in your area over the last week. Here's your transaction update for the week. If you want to sell, let me know. That kind of stuff. So that's the follow-up. Critical, good investment deals, and then do you want to sell? And where you get business from this, guys, I think everybody here has kind of bought into this idea, but where you get business is not from people opting in today and then tomorrow saying, come and list my $1 million house. I think where you get business is in you having some conversations and being responsive. When somebody gets that $80,000 foreclosure and they're thinking, hey, I'm liquid right now, I might want to buy that, and they fire you a question, and they're like, hey, what's the deal with that? And they don't even buy it. But you're quick, you're friendly, you sound knowledgeable, you talk to them, and you have a few conversations like that with them over the year or two. They never buy an investment property, but then it's time to sell their house. Well, who's their agent? It's you. So I think leading with the investment hook to this audience is sound, smart strategy. Okay, and then the final kind of step in all this to wrap it all together. Up till now, this can all be automated, right? you can kind of even put these emails on autopilot with the transactions and everything else if you want, and kind of do it once a week. Add in on step 5, go ahead and do what Mark States does and post deals to your fan page. Right? Keep that fan page you created in step 1 with deals current, even if you're just posting the stuff that you're emailing out, the deals you find, post that there, and then create an ad, a retargeted ad to everybody who's clicking on your original ad because they're showing initial interest, then run an ad to that retargeting list. Okay, so I'll take a step back and explain that. So let's go and pretend we're running our second ad here. So in this whole process, we're going to run 2 Facebook ads. Our second ad is going to be, instead of this target, where's my audiences? They move everything around here. One second. If someone wants to help me out, go ahead. It used to be right here where you pick the custom audience. It might be because might have to restart this all over again for it to show up. It probably got hidden. Here, let me just do that. Usually it's right up top. Okay. So send people to your website, just like we did in the first step. Just use any old URL here. Oh, is it possible I haven't created an actual custom audience yet, except for the one I just did? Usually right up here you can pick your custom audience. My old ad account, we had a bunch of custom audiences, so that must be what I'm running up against here. Let's go back. Let's fix this, guys. Sorry about this. So let's go back to our audiences. There we go. Audiences. I must not have finished, huh? Website traffic. Audience name is Retech Test. Create audience. Okay, and that would be why. So if I go back and create it now, I should be able to pick from the drop down the audience that I created in step 2A, and then start to show ads to that audience. Now, I think you can just show the latest posts on your page. You used to be able to do that if you want to automate it. So let's go ahead and see. Boost your posts. I'm just putting a URL in for my fan page. A lot of times you can just choose it. Does anybody here know if we can still have it automatically show all the posts? Let's see, show advanced options. Because that would be key. Otherwise, you're going to have to go back every time you do a new post and do a new ad. Ideally, you kind of just have this ad always running to this retargeting list. And here's where you pick it, right up top, Retech Test. Right now it says it has less than 20 people, but it's going to grow over time as people click on my other ad. And I would just leave this live and showing my latest posts. If you can't have it show all of your ads, all of your new posts as you post them, another option might be to choose the like page option, just so they keep seeing the page out of the corner of their eye. So I would create an ad and do promote your page. Yeah, and I have to add the page, and you just keep showing your fan page. But if your fan page is York, PA foreclosure deals, people keep seeing, those same people keep seeing that page and going back and visiting it. That would be one way to not have to keep running a new ad for every post and have it out there. Does that make sense? Can anybody comment? John, thank you for your participation. You guys are been a little bit quiet, but I appreciate everybody who's kind of chimed in and given me a little encouragement here. And that's about it. I think, you know, that's a full kind of funnel outlined with a few extra twists in it. The retargeting, the hyper-targeting of people who are likely to own a home, so you get those listings down the road, and you're still generating buyer-side investment people and having a really valuable database of people you're building stuff with. Mark, you're a little confused, but have been in and out. That's okay. Guys, I'm going to package this whole thing up. It's a while now since we've updated some of this, so I'm going to take this whole thing that we did today and just make it a specific funnel in the members area, step by step, what each of this was. Just give me a day or two. That was why I was building this in the first place. So just kind of introducing the ideas here to you. And then, Mark, if you were a little confused, there'll be a little bit more about this later. It's not a lot for you, Mark, who already have a fan page already going. There's not really much more to do here for you. You're going to want to create that custom audience so that everybody who's clicking on your foreclosure ads become added to a list, or if you want to upload your current email database, that might help, and start showing them the ad, and then maybe just think about who you're targeting a little more if you want to only go for the high net worth type. See how they respond. Okay, yeah, okay, good point, Greg. I didn't show you the actual ad that you're showing to your custom audience. Very good point. Let me continue there. Okay, so in the final step, let's assume we've created our custom audience in Facebook and we've put the pixel on the page from the other ad. I mean, this is retargeting 101 kind of. We have the pixel on the page where we want, we want to build our audience, and now we're going to run an ad that shows to that audience. You can choose the promote your page option, and the only reason I couldn't do it is I have a brand new Facebook ads account here, and I have to kind of make myself an admin on all the pages I manage within the Facebook account. So I didn't go down that road. But if you pick the page likes of promote your page objective, it's pretty straightforward. Or you could just run an ad to anything you want. It could be just one post on your site where, okay guys, how about this? Maybe you, to that retargeted list, you just show them a what's my property worth ad. Right, so in this case I would do send clicks to my website. Equals York. All right, so I've got them clicking initially on the buyer side offer for foreclosures, and then following these same people around Facebook. Now that I know they're all homeowners, is this what's mine worth thing. And then they've already seen my name once when they saw the foreclosure stuff, and occasionally a few of them see this, they opt in, and they're like, oh, there's that guy again, he's everywhere. So that might be one thing. So quick answer, Greg, is show whatever you want. Show you're a mortgage guy, show a refinancing ad. If you want, they own homes, and they're responsive already. The whole point behind the retargeting is that you keep getting that touch to the same audience over and over again, instead of letting Facebook to decide who sees your ads kind of randomly. You get them in once, and then now you've got them, and you keep showing them the same asset from you over and over again. So you have many options. Promote your page straight up so you get more likes on it and they keep seeing it. Drive traffic out to a specific what's mine worth page, or just as you post new stuff to your fan page, run individual ads for each property, like in a niche-focused fan page system in the site. Take a new deal, run a promoted post ad to it for $5 or $10, and choose that retargeting list. over and over again. Okay, cool, guys. Who is anybody here already doing this? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if, yeah, if anybody's doing it yet. I'd just be curious to know. Like Rob Hernandez, are you, or Paul, are you kind of retargeting yet? I'm just curious, you know, if some of you power users out there, and if I'm missing you and you're a power user like Adam, don't be insulted. I'm not calling you out. You are with foreclosures. How do you, Paul said, so how are you seeing the response to those retargeting ads? Are the clicks cheaper? You probably have a few hundred people on that list at least. Or is this more of kind of an intangible thing where you kind of just know they're seeing you and it feels good, and it really only takes 10 minutes to set up anyway. So you know you're getting more touches even if they're not clicking on the ads. Okay, well, yeah, Bert's saying it's good. He's been trying to figure it out and test. Guys, I think we went a little advanced today, so anybody just coming into all this, just remember that the foreclosure list squeeze page with simple traffic, with a good thank you page and a good list is simple enough. You know, you can get good, cheap leads that way if you're good about the follow-up. This retargeting, this segmenting out just homeowners, you know, who have a high net worth, all this, we're just getting a little fancier, that's all. Yeah, so Paul doesn't see a big difference because the cost is really cheap. Paul, I mean, I know you could set this up. Well, you should run a different, you know, run a different angle to those guys. Like, what would people opting in for foreclosures? You know, maybe try running them to start the mortgage process page in a separate campaign, something that you would know it was from that target. Yeah, you don't have to do it on my account. We could work on it together. Okay, guys, anybody have any other questions, or was this enough content for the week, for today? Anything you want to see us doing? I got all excited. I thought Pinterest ads were ready, but they're not, because you have to apply and it takes forever. You know, I'm in some mastermind groups myself, and everybody's saying, yeah, Pinterest ads, Twitter ads, just stick with Facebook for now. But you know, if there's more you guys definitely need to know about or want to know about, let us know. And then I guess we'll see you next week. Talk to you soon. I'll get the replay of this live as soon as possible and get it annotated so you can skip around it very easily. And then the plan is to kind of put this whole process step by step in the members area using the new, you know, showing it done with the new Facebook ads dashboard and all that stuff. Mark, I don't know the answer to that question in Lead Barrel. Sorry, the filter for lead management. Okay, guys, see everybody later. Mark, we can pick that up outside of here. If you want to email me, Ryan at Retechulous, I'll see what you're talking about. Okay. All right, see everybody later. Have a good one.